Condolences to the University of Virginia football program, the family and the friends and teammates of those involved in the tragedy, and to Coach Tony Elliott and his entire community. Nebraska football program is thinking about them and praying for them during this difficult time. That's a sad situation that happened up there. Okay, we have 12 players that's going to walk on Senior Day. That'll be a part of Senior Day. And some of them that's going to be playing their last game in Husker Stadium. You know, we want anybody considering walking that's going to be on our team next year. We want you to walk, so we want you to have that experience of Senior Day. Commend our seniors through a lot of transition. They haven't got the wins that they wanted, but they've been stand-up kids, you know, for this program. They gave their all for this program. Questions?
Nikki, do you have an update on Casey's status and how?
Yes. Okay, Casey practiced today. He made some throws, so we're still going to take him day by day and see how he feels on game day. But I expect him to be able to practice every day. But we don't know at what volume that he'll be able to throw it.
Did he rep in team drills today then?
Yes, he repped in team drills today.
How's Logan doing?
Logan was better today. He's been a little beat up, but he was better today, and he threw the ball around a little bit, and he ran pretty well today.
How's Chubba?
Chubba's out, high ankle sprain, so we'll get him in surgery in 2 or 3 days.
And Mark Whipple, will he continue to call from the box from here on out, or do you have an update on how Coach Whipple's doing?
Well, Sean, maybe you can convince him, because I told him in the beginning to go to the box, okay? And he got wiped out. So it was bad. But I think he's going to go to the box now. Andrew's going to be in charge of that. So if it doesn't happen, it's on Andrew. But, yeah, I think he's going to go to the box.
On the QBs, just with the guys who are a little lower down but are kind of factoring in now, like Jared Sinek, what sort of is, I guess, sorted out who's where and who made the travel roster?
Well, Sinek, he repped today with the second unit. So he'll be the next guy up, and I'm sure Torres, we'll look at Torres if we need Torres. But Sinek, he repped today.
What kind of things will you be looking for from Casey to see if he can go or not? How do you arrive at that decision?
See how the ball's coming out of his hand. You know, he's going to make good decisions, but I want to see how the ball's coming out of his hand, make sure it's not any nerve damage or any pain with the throwing. And then we'll figure it out from there. Like I told you before, I'm not going to play him if he's in pain. If he can't play at a high level, I won't play him, Seth. I won't play him.
What was your takeaway from Logan's effort in Michigan?
I thought Logan had a decent effort. I thought he didn't see it well. You know, he had Trey running down the middle field for a touchdown. He didn't see it, and he's looking right at him, and he just didn't see him. But, you know, like I said, that kid needs reps. And he had a lot of reps last week, but I guess it wasn't enough. But Logan, when he comes in, he gives his all. He gives everything that he has. He's a tough kid.
Mickey, if Casey can't play and Chubb is already out, who's your backup to Logan?
Jared will be. Yeah.
Miles Farmer be available?
Miles back. Miles is back. He practiced today. Practiced well today.
What did you make of Ernest Hausman's performance on Saturday and just the way he continues to develop and how he steps a big stage?
I think Barrett has done a really good job with Haas because he's playing at a high level and he's getting better every week. So I like where he's at right now. I mean, he was a puppy coming in here. He's a high school kid. So he learned how to play this game at a high level, and he's playing at a high level right now. We're really excited about his future.
Jared Sinek up. We don't know too much about him. How has he moved up ahead of some guys? What's he done?
Well, I think because when you look at it as a coach, he's the most athletic one. Because if you got to go to a third guy, you want him to be athletic. You don't want them all to be the same. So he can go in there and give you some run game and throw it a little bit. So that's where we're at right now.
Is Harburg, what's been his progression? Is he hurt, or what's his situation?
He's not hurt. He's not hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Alante Brown and then Phelan Sanford? I know both those guys got hurt in that game. Are they available this week? Where are they at?
We're going to see where Alante's at. When he tried to leap over the guy, that was a crazy fall. But I think he felt better today. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. And Phelan practiced today.
You a fan of guys trying to jump over players?
I'm a fan of guys that are trying to get it done any means necessary. And that's what he had to do. And that's what you want on your football team. And you know what he said after that play? I'm trying to win the football game. And that's what you want. That's what some teams like where we are right now, that's what we're missing. Just that extra grit that I'm going to lay my body on the line to help this team win a football game. And I like that Alante. That's why I always ride with Alante, because at the end of the day, I know he's going to go to battle, and he's going to give you 100%.
Was that play, I mean, did you cringe at all when you saw him go that high?
Absolutely. When he jumped like that, I was like, oh, just don't come down on your head. But he hit the back of his neck, so that wasn't any better. But I did cringe a little bit because, like you said, they're my boys, and when they go through pain, I go through pain. But I was excited about the effort and the statement he made after that. But he's a Chicago kid now. He's tough. I'm sure that's not the first time he fell on his neck. In Chicago, they play football on the concrete, so he probably fell on the concrete. He's a good kid.
How do you recruit, cultivate, and develop grit?
You got to find it. You got to find them when you're recruiting them. I know somebody said that I offered a quarterback with no stars or some FCS offers, and if I would have listened to that person about Justin Jefferson, I would have never got Justin Jefferson, because he was a 2,100 player ranked in the country when he came out. So we're going to go by evaluation. So when we're evaluating the kid, we're looking for that grit. We're looking for that finish on every play. So you got to look at him before you bring him here.
How proud were you of Justin's performance on Sunday?
Absolutely. I talked to him a week ago because he was going up for jump balls, but he was going up with his chest. And I said, just fight through with your hands and try to get your hands on the ball. But, I did drills at LSU, helped him do that. No joking.
Mickey, you talked about recruiting after the game at Michigan, and then Sam asked me about that. With USC and UCLA coming in a little bit, I guess just kind of how does that change the recruiting landscape in the Big Ten?
Well, you're going to have to go to Cali. You're going to have to go to Cali, but I don't think it makes sense to go to Cali and go get a 6 or 7. I don't think you go out there to get a 6 or 7 best player, because you got USC out there, you got UCLA out there, you got Washington out there. You got to understand, kids from the West Coast, they tend to stay close to home, because one thing Lincoln's not going to be is California. Never. We said the same thing when I was at LSU. We didn't go out there a lot because California kids, they kind of want that place to be Cali, and it's not. So we're going to continue to go where we've been going, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Jersey, and Kansas City, St. Louis, and then here in the home state. So we're going to go out there, but we're not going to go out there and just say, okay, we're satisfied. We're going to go out there. We're going out there to get a draft pick.
And Mickey, the first 9 weeks for you have been obviously very challenging in the situation. Just how much more challenging now will these next 2 weeks be, navigating the program with some of the unknowns that you guys don't really know coming up after the next week or so?
Well, that's what I said in the beginning. We're going to control what we can control. And right now it's a 2-game season, and we talked about that with the players. It's a 2-game season, and now the most important thing on the schedule is Wisconsin, and let's go at Wisconsin. But control what you can control.
Maybe you've got 7 games under your belt now as head coach. Other than recruiting, which you talked about after the Michigan game, I mean, what, in your mind, now that you have this experience, what is it going to take the next head coach, whether it's you or somebody else, to be successful at this program? What's it going to take to get this program?
Roster management, a more competitive roster, and understand what you need to do in this conference on the offense side of the ball and the defense side of the ball, and in special teams, because it's a different makeup with the conference. So you got to understand that. Then you also got to understand where you're at. You got to understand that you don't sit in the middle of Texas, the middle of Louisiana, the middle of Georgia, that you got to be able to go down there and convince those kids to come up here. So he's got to understand that recruiting is going to be a big part. Whoever sits in that chair, recruiting is going to be a big part, and you got to want to work, because it's not like working when you're at Georgia, because they right there. You got to work here. You got to work. So whoever takes this job, they better be ready to work.
Is it a different roster configuration that you think you need in the Big Ten compared to what you saw in the SEC? Is it differences?
Well, I think it comes down to depth. You got to have more depth. You got to have, instead of having 12 offensive linemen, you got to have 15 or 16. Instead of having 12 D linemen, you got to have 15 to 16. You got to have 12 receivers. You got to have 4 quarterbacks. You just got to have depth, and it's got to be competitive. Like, it can't be a big drop off from 1 to 2. So if you get a competitive roster where they're competing, that's going to make the team better.
Why do you think you need more depth in the Big Ten?
Because you bang a whole bunch. You play in the middle of the field. SEC, you cover every inch of the field. But in the Big Ten, you play in that phone booth. So you're gonna lose some kids because you know what I'm saying. Except they're hitting each other like bam, bam, bam. So if I hit you like that 3 times, you and I, both of us, gonna be sore. You know. So you got to have depth. You got to be able to play. You know, I said 6 to 8 D linemen. You got to be able to play 4 to 5 linebackers. Just because you're getting so much banging in the 65 to 70 plays of just banging. That's what I'm learning about this conference.
Why are the defenses in this league so far ahead of the offense?
I couldn't tell you that. I can't tell you that. So I better watch how I answer that question. You know, so I couldn't tell you why they're so far ahead, but every week it's a really good defense. You know, it's a really good defense. They're all in the top 10. So you got to take your hat off to those programs and to those head coaches, to those coordinators. But it's really good defense in this conference.
Is there an area or two in the country that you feel like this program could attack in recruiting that it hasn't really tried to enter, I guess, to try to
No. No, I think they attacked, you know, Texas. I think they did the same thing. You know, we just got to be more aggressive when we go down there. We got to do a really good evaluation when we go down there and make sure we're getting the right kids up here. Make sure when the kid comes in the door, that he's equipped, he's ready to play. And if he's not ready to play, he's a year away now. Let's continue to develop him. But I think you got to go down south. You got to go where the heat's at. You got to go where they're playing big time high school football. Not that they don't play it here, you know. But if you know the routine, Texas and Louisiana, Georgia, you know, everybody's down there.
Mickey, have you been updated on your status, and how difficult has these last 7, 8 weeks been for you in this transition?
I don't think it's been difficult because you know I've been having fun, you know, getting it done, you know, because I'm coming in every day to get a job done. I haven't gotten the results that we wanted, but it's a great feeling being around these kids and being around these coaches. They top notch people. They not one person in that building has given up. Everybody comes in and fight. Y'all see them? They fighting to the end. You could be in a situation right now where they could have gave up 6 weeks ago, but they didn't. You know, so I'm having fun. I'm good. I mean, don't worry about Mickey. Mickey's gonna be okay.
But nobody said, hey, Mickey, let's talk about this after the season.
No. I don't think it works like that. I think if they want to interview you after the season, they'll let you know, or they'll tell you that a head coach coming in. I'm prepared for whatever.
What have you seen from Wisconsin? They obviously hired their head coach too.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a lot of changes. What have you seen with that?
Well, no, they, you know, like I said, it real good defense, and they like to run the football. It's no secret, and you know they hadn't changed much. You know, they play hard. They don't do a lot, but what they do well, and they don't make mistakes.
Is there running back any different stylistically than the previous 3 that you faced?
Oh yeah, you see how big he is. He's a big old dude. He's about 6'2", 235. You know, he's a really, really good running back. He's probably one of the best running backs we've seen this year. I mean, we've been seeing the really good backs in the country, and the Big Ten has them. But this kid's special. You know, and somebody told me he was 18 years old. I mean, to be that big and be 18, that's special. But he's a really good back.
There was reports last week about people reaching out to Braylon Allen in Wisconsin, other programs. Do you worry about that for Nebraska kids getting, contacted by other schools, coaching kids?
No, because if somebody does, the kids will tell you. They'll let you know who reached out to them. And I mean, I'm sure, it's happening. It's no secret.
Well, Mickey, you opened with your comments on Virginia. In your path of coaching career, have you encountered a situation where there was a dramatic and traumatic death of player or players on the team that you were at?
No. And I mean, that's sad because I know the kid that's in critical condition, Mike Hollins, the kid from Baton Rouge. I know him and his father. We recruited him at LSU, and he went to University High. That was right on our campus. But that's a sad situation. It's something that you don't want anybody to have to deal with. You take your heart off to those parents and to the coaches and to the administration. It's a sad day out there. It's a sad day, and you can continue to pray for them and uplift them and be there for them if they need you.
Probably not in the job description for.
No, it's not.
how to
No.
deal with that, huh?
No, it's not in the job description, but, they're dealing with it, and it's a sad situation.
You mentioned senior day too. How different is the dynamic of that day these days in the portal era when you have COVID years to factor in? Like, how do you sort of take in and appreciate the moment with so much uncertainty?
Well, you can have 2 senior days. You can walk this year and come back and have another senior day. So, you get it. You know, you're gonna have some kids that's gonna walk. You know, and then they're gonna sit down and talk to you at the end of the year and say, "Coach, I want to come back." Then I'm sure they're gonna walk again next year. So that's okay.
Like, will Trey Palmer walk? You know, if you talk to Trey, if he's gonna do senior day.
No, Trey's not gonna walk. I didn't think so.
Do you have those conversations with those guys now about whether they'll walk, or do they just tell you?
They just tell us if they want to walk or not. Andrew did a really good job of doing that. They go to Andrew and tell Andrew, but they'll tell you. Thank you.